let's see it. Here we go. Face turn, good. Face turn, good. 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 Face turn. Face turn. Face turn, good. Alright, hold it, freeze it. Okay? That's it. Alright? That's all we're teaching you that. Dribble at it, it's going to send it to the rim. Okay? It gets more and more simple here. It really does. Now, the simplicity, just like our fast break stuff, the simplicity is what makes it great. Because we're going to build off of this foundation. It's very, very simple. We're going to start adding all kinds of things. Because when you have these habits, getting more complex with your system is easy. Because you can take things for granted. Now, as a coach, you have to make sure you don't take things for granted too long. Like if you just notice all of a sudden you've got all these complex movements in, but every time you dribble at somebody, they stand and look at each other, you got to go back and fix that habit. Okay? So the last one is if you drive to the basket. This one is the one, at least for us in the States, this is the one that takes the most amount of time. For some reason, this is the toughest one because somewhere on the playground or in youth basketball in the United States, kids are being taught, I don't know if they're doing it themselves or what, but they're being taught, get the ball to stand. Well, you step back for a second, I want to be you. Kids are being taught when this guy drives to the basket, to pop the squat and call for the ball. Ball, 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 ball! Okay? I don't know why. They think that's good basketball. Let me tell you why it isn't. So Stan has the ball and he's being defended, and I'm guarding Wolt. Okay? And Stan gets a step on his guy. The natural inclination for most defense is going to be to come here to help, right? So just take one dribble or two dribbles towards me. Okay, let's stop. Now, stay there for a second. If I come and help off a Wolt, and you pass to him, and he's still standing there, okay, go ahead and clap your hands and squat. Yeah, go ahead and do it. All I have to do is a one-step closeout, and I'm in position to guard him. Okay, go ahead. Now what we're going to do is anytime we drive to the basket, everyone is going to circle one spot in that direction. Now this isn't new over here. As a matter of fact, I believe Rick Corbett, when he created Read and React, got circle movement from Belgium. Is Bart here? You go home today. Oh, tease knows them. Yeah. I mean, this is something that's probably not surprising to you, because you're probably all sitting here going, I can't believe I paid for this. I have to listen to this. I already know this. But what we want to do is get the ball back to Stan. When he drives, I want you all to circle one spot. Okay? So now, go ahead. When I help, and he passes there, look at the difference. Go ahead and pass it to Wolt. Now I've got to turn and find where the heck Wolt is. Throw the ball. I've got to take 1, 2, 3 steps to get to a closeout. Which one's going to give our shooters more time to shoot? And when we show our players this, all the way down to 10, 11 years old, they're like, yeah, that makes sense. But they are then also having to learn to shoot on the move. So you have to drill it. It's one of the habits they have to get, is as they circle move, they have to figure out what's easiest for them. Some guys are going to want to slide into it. Some guys are going to want to run into it and then inside pivot. You have to find out and decide what you're going to teach for that. But this is a far more effective way to give these guys more time to get their shot off. Okay? Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do a little diagnostic stuff here. You guys are going to pass, cut, feed the post, dribble at, drive, and kick with no shots. Okay? I'm just going to show everybody what you've learned here in the first 35 minutes or so here. Okay? So no shots, just keep running the offense. Start the ball at the top. Stand. Anytime you cut, I want you to post up. Okay? Everyone else, you're going to cut and fill. Alright, here we go. Alright, you can dribble at too. You can drive. Okay. There we go. Oh, that's alright. Yeah, it's okay. You want to kick. You want to pass out. Now, let's talk about that. I'm glad that happened. Okay, all right. So that tells me right now that we're not quite ready to move on from circle move. Which is a good thing. You guys know it, but here's what we're looking for when they drive. So let's say Jordan here drives. Alright, we're going to circle one spot to the right. He's going baseline. When we do this, what's the beauty of this whole circle movement thing is this. If I get in any kind of trouble here, I know I've got shooting windows. I've got passing windows for shots. So I can kick out to stand if his defender comes to try to stop me. I can dish a bounce pass to Woe to go into the basket, or I can go wait till he gets to the other side and throw it to him. I can go at, Leonard, slide down just a little bit. I can turn, I get here and I get stuck, I can turn, I've got somebody at my 45, and then I always have a safety valve. So my man Artie in here's got my back. He's coming right here. You can always turn around and pass it to him. And that's a great action against zones. I know a lot of youth here, you guys do it right, you're smart enough not to run zones. But as they get more advanced and you start getting into a zone action, driving at a gap and then bringing a shooter behind the safety valve is a really effective way to get an easy shot. Okay? So that's what we're looking for. So anytime you guys drive in here, you should have 4 people to pass to. You have 4 options. Okay? Let's say that option, this is just a good defensive team, and all those options get taken away. Now what we're going to do is bounce off. Okay, so come back up here, rewind it. Go back to your spots. We'll go back to the corner. Jordan, come up here. I'm going to keep using you for this one. So now when we drive, go ahead and drive. Dribble this way. Circle, okay? Alright, freeze. So now, we've got our shooting windows, and we've left out an escape hatch. So he gets in here, and he can just bounce right back out, okay, to this spot. So go ahead and do that. Show that one time. Okay, start from the top. You already start up top. That's all right, man. I already did it. You guys go back. That's fine. Remember, you're all interchangeable. That reminds me, I didn't give you my definition of offense. I skipped over it at the beginning. So, this is a good time as any to tell you. For those of you that saw my session yesterday, you heard this already, so I apologize if this is boring, but I think in order to teach an offense, you have to first define what an offense is to you. Just like with our defense, we have a definition of what our defense is designed to do, what our mission statement is. Okay? And in order to define or to teach something, you have to define it. Our definition of offense, the long version, is that it's a system of interchangeable teammates focused on utilizing the strengths of each player to put the ball in the basket as efficiently as possible. Okay? That's our definition. And we've shortened it over the years to quality shots from earned spots, which we'll talk about later. But you have to know what your definition is. If you haven't sat down with your club or your coaching staff and figured out what your definition is for the things you teach, then how can you really teach it all that well? So you got to give that some thought. Okay? In this situation, you guys are all interchangeable, so it doesn't really matter who's where. You can all be on spot. But I, as a coach, can gain some control back, because let's face it, most coaches are control freaks. I can gain some control back just by saying, stand. Anytime you cut to the basket, you're going to post up. Jorgen, anytime you cut to the basket, I want you to screen. Okay, I want you to back screen. One of the most effective things we do in our offense is at the start of the year, we have our best shooters back screen anytime they cut to the basket. Why? Because the back screen is usually the one that's open when they shape up. And if they're not open, it's because the other team knows they're a great shooter and they jump out on them, and then you get a leg. Okay? So coaches can have control just by giving players roles. Stand whenever you cut, you're posting up. Jordan, whenever you cut, you're going to back screen out, look for a 3, that type of thing. Who's the best shooter here? My post guys don't like this. Is that right? Is he the best shooter? No? Somebody, Stan's got to be my post guy today. I didn't hear you my shooter today. Okay? Alright, so here's how this is going to look. Anytime you cut, you're going to post up. Anytime you cut, you're going to go screen for somebody. Back screen for them. You guys are all just going to cut and fill out. Okay? Make sure you got that? Okay. Jakob said a screen earlier. At least heard the trend. Okay. Alright, we good? Alright. No shots. Don't shoot the ball. Just run offense. Okay? Alright, see how we do. Here we go. Dribble that. Good. Whoa. Good. Cut. Good. Yeah, post up. Stay there. Stay there. Go ahead. Go ahead, cut. Alright, we haven't talked about screening about that. Now, you'll notice several cutters. Remember, no shots, guys, next time. Next time you're going to have to run sprints. Do they know sprints, Peter? I'm just kidding. You'll notice that a lot of cutters right now are running near the post player. Alright? I just talked about how having someone go out and back screen is a great way to get a shooter open. It's also a great way to get a post player open. Alright? So, Stan, anytime he sets a screen for a cutter down here, if he shapes up to the ball, he's probably going to be open. So if you want to get a great player to the ball, tell him to set some screens. Okay, so now we're going to run 4 out, just 4 on the perimeter. You're going to stay in the post. Alright? Every time a cutter comes near you, I just want you to back up your screen in front. And you guys go shoulder to shoulder off of that screen. Okay? And then shape up looking for the ball. Shape up after screen. Alright, so Leonard, you come up just a little bit this way. Woj, yep, you're going to come up there. Adi, you're going to come out. I want to send 4 out, 1 in. Okay, so you come over here. Leonard's right in this area. Adi, you're going to be in this area here. Okay? I know this is new for you guys, but this is good. Okay? You'll learn something a little bit different. I'm guessing you guys are doing a lot of 5 out. So pass, cut, and then fill these 4 spots. Look inside. You can always throw it in the stand. Okay? And you're looking to screen for cutting. Alright, let's see how we do. Here we go. Do the dribble out, flip, and shape to the ball. After you screen, shape to the ball. Yeah, don't just stop. Freeze. No, this is perfect. This is good. Stop. So, if you just stand there like that, okay, I know your name is Stan, and you got the first 4 letters of Stan in your name. I'm sorry. Your dad named you. If you stand here, then you're not helping us. Okay? Go ahead and sit out for 1 second. Just go to the baseline right there. Okay, I'm gonna be Stan for a minute. All right, I'm not as good looking, but I'm gonna be Stan. So pass the ball, screen, ball, throw there. Screen, ball. No, don't throw it. Ignore me. Okay, go ahead. Pass, screen, ball. Don't throw it. There we go. Pass, screen, ball. Okay, now stop. The last thing you want to do is put a guy in there and just be a screener. Okay, I don't think that's fun for anybody. If you can sell a player though that when they set a good screen they're going to be open, now you've got something. Stan is a good player. Like I said, he's got YouTube highlights. I would put Stan and have him do exactly those things. Okay, and then go ahead and throw the ball to Leonard. All right, cut, screen, throw me the ball this time. I catch the ball right here, now I turn and rip, and I'm right at the basket. One-on-one move, there's a little of this, and dunks the ball. Okay? That's a good way to get a good player open inside. What you're going to see with our fast break stuff at the start of the next session is the whole idea behind it is trying to get your big post player one-on-one with their back to the basket. Because that just doesn't happen anymore. At least not in the States. Teams don't get to go one-on-one with a big guy because the defense collapses. Well, if you can get all this movement happening, everybody working together, and now a guy gets hit by a screen, and then this guy gets the ball, and he's right here, and he can go one-on-one with 1 dribble, that's good offense. So again, all of this has to do with what your personnel looks like. Okay? What I want to do now, Stan, come on back in, buddy. All right, anybody, yeah, whatever you want. We're going to go 5 out. So go 5 spots. 5 spots. Okay? We are going to run anything you want to run. Pass and cut, dribble at, drive to the basket. Okay? Whoever drives, I don't want a shot. I want it to bounce off. Okay? So if you drive, you're going to bounce off. No passes. Make sense? So 5-on-0, no shots, tell them no shots. That got lost in translation. Which is okay, because it gets lost in translation when I say it to my varsity guys too. They want to take shots. So, alright, ready? Alright, here we go. Last one, this is the whole, and then we'll just start talking about breaking down the pieces. Good. Pass, cut. You guys can talk too if you want. You can talk. Oh, try to catch your eyes. Catch your eyes. Drive, bounce. Oh, no, hold up, freeze. You can learn the ball. Okay. Now, you drove. You guys are going to circle that direction. Okay, circle. You're going to come behind, you're going to bounce off right there. Okay, play from here. Go, play. Pass. Cut, top. Cut. Spot. Fill. Bounce off. You got a circle in it. That's okay. Alright. Fill. Yeah, one and down, spread out. You're okay. Spot. I like it. Good movement. They don't know what to do. Drive. Oh, you gotta go another way. That's okay. Pass, cut, fill. Good. Spot. Good. You gotta get your lat down. So watching this, I can see we go pass and cut and dribble lat pretty well. Okay. Drive, we're still getting the hang of. That's alright. Dribble lat. Good. Alright, freeze. Okay, that made it work. That was pretty good. Go ahead and give it an round of applause. Super simple stuff, I know. Okay? This is the foundation though of everything we're going to build from here on out. The key is, and I mean these guys have it down pretty well. It's second. Some of the stuff is second nature to them. You can see that it's second nature to them. Like pass and cut, they've got down. The dribble at, they're pretty good. I still have varsity guys when some dribbles at, they go like this. Oh. So you've got to drill this, and that's what I want to show you now. I want to show you how we build through the drill stuff. This is the hole. Now we want to teach the parts, and then we'll come back to the hole at the end. Okay? So first thing I would do, I'm going to use all 8 of you now. Okay? All 8 of you. First thing I would do is a drill that we call perfect passing. If you've heard either one of my other sessions, I talk about peer pressure drills. Okay? Drills that make the drill the bad guy, not the coach. Difficult drills that they have to do it in a certain amount of time, they have to do a certain number of reps for, before they can move on to a different drill. So what we're going to set up is called perfect passing, and we're going to have Jakob right here at the top of the key. Malik, you're going to come here underneath the basket, just in this circle. And then we're going to have Stan, who's going to be about right here on there where the red and white lines meet. And then Woj, you're going to be red and white right there. And now each of you pick a guy and stand